Yo, what's good guys, Super Kelly aka Rennie here, and today I'm going to show you the best keybinds to start doubling your KD now. Now, just a quick disclaimer, these keybinds are built for a mouse with 2 side buttons, so if your mouse doesn't have 2 side buttons, you're kind of screwed. Well, see what you can get from this, but honestly, I do recommend investing in a mouse with 2 side buttons as it'll help your game a lot. If you're too good and you don't really need them, then alright, my bad. Maybe you don't even need these keybinds anyway. If you're wondering what qualifications I have, as you can see, I have a pretty decent KD in solos, pretty decent KD in duos, pretty decent win percentage as well, squads, same as well. I also don't have too much time played in this game, so I'd say I'm doing pretty good. I just recently optimized my keybinds, so I'm going to go ahead and share those with you guys. And for these keybinds, I'm going to go ahead and go over what I believe are the most crucial ones and the ones that I think you need to change. Of course, you could go ahead and compare everything down the line. I will be showing you guys everything, but I'll only be going over the most important ones. So as you can see, most of the movement stuff is still the same, pretty default. So I know this says 0 and 8, but it's actually my side mouse buttons. Just to clarify, I binded those for editing reasons. So yeah, a little confusing, but those are all both side mouse buttons. 0 the forward mouse button, 8 is the back mouse button. The only part that you need to change here is leaning left and leaning right. I have those as my 2 side mouse buttons. So the forward mouse button is lean left, the back mouse button is lean right. Just giving you the best opportunity in gunfights so that you don't have to take your hands off of WASD. I'll go ahead and show you guys hand cam. So as you can see, I'm able to lean left and right while keep moving left and right as well. As opposed to Q and E, you're going to have to take your fingers off of either W or A and D, so that limits your mobility. Everything else here should be default as well. Once again, go ahead and feel free to compare. Swimming also as well default, nothing changed there. Combat as well is where it also gets a little interesting. I personally prefer to hold for aim down sight. My camera moved a little bit, but we can still see. I'm relying on balance. Okay. I can no longer do the hip fire aim wherever you aim in and you're still not fully aimed down sight in first person. I prefer to be able to hold. I just feel like my shots are more accurate when I'm holding down sight as opposed to having to tap and aim all the way down sight. I prefer hold. Now you may still want that hip fire aim for yourself. Go ahead and feel free to. This is just personal preference. But real quick, if you do want to switch to ADS hold as well, make sure to go to controls, go all the way down to ADS only, and switch it to hold instead of toggle. Unfortunately, you are not able to have best of both worlds and be able to tap to aim only and hold to aim down sight. For some reason, you can only hold for aim down sight only and get rid of the other one. But yeah, reload, still same thing. Now, switching weapons, as you can see, the scroll mouse wheel for next weapon, previous weapon is now gone. I am now using 3 and 4 to switch between primary weapons because I prefer to switch quickly between my close and long range gun. Typically this will be a lineup I have, so I'll move my PPSH as my first gun, so all I have to do is click 3. Let's say I run out of ammo, I see somebody far, just press 4, switch to this gun, and then you can just kill the other guy. This for me was a big one, very game changing, and it also switches up your scroll wheel buttons. As you can see now, to switch to grenades, you now hit up on the scroll wheel. And also special equipment is now 1. It was originally 4, I believe. Now it's 1. I don't really use that key too often, so I don't mind that being there. So for throwables, like I said, all I have to do is scroll wheel up, hold the grenade, aim it where I want to throw it. And if you didn't know, you can also hit R to start charging the grenade early, so that way when you release it a little delayed, it explodes almost on impact. So go ahead and hold R, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Boom. So that way enemies cannot have the time to run away from your grenades, and you might be able to get more easy kills around some people hiding behind barriers and stuff like that. Now here is another very crucial one. Now I know it says 9, but that is actually my middle mouse button, aka the scroll wheel button. So yeah, now all I have to do to ult is click on it. So I personally did not like having to run and then getting shot at, and then it takes me a second to hit G. I might hit F, I might hit H, and I just kind of keep missing, panicking. I'm dead. You just take too long. You die very fast in this game. So now all I have to do is just react with my mouse button, and then I can look around and move wherever I want, and yeah, all good to go. Of course, all the other ults this is also very convenient with. For example, let's say you have Marine, you pop Fog of War. You don't have to stop moving. You don't have to regain after you hit G and you're all miss. I don't know if you guys saw that, but yeah, I just misclicked 10 times and yeah, you're just kind of chalked after that. Middle mouse button keeps it simple. Just easily react, go where you want to go, fry whoever's next to you. I switched to use active skill 2 from H to G. Not really a big deal there. Slide is still C. Rest of these are pretty default. Throwables, this is all default. Feel free to change anything there. Scope mode, zoom in. Now I had to make an adjustment here since now both of my scroll wheel buttons are occupied, which you'll see why later. As we know already, throwables is one of them. But as you can see, the side mouse buttons are now used to zoom in and out of scopes. I personally don't even ever like using the scopes that are zoom in that much. I'd rather just have a holographic sight or max a 2x scope. I never like the deep scopes, but that's just me. So yeah, as you can see now, zoom in, forward mouse button, zoom out is the back mouse button. Not really a big deal there. Like I said, I don't really use those much anyway, but just in case I do need to zoom out of one or zoom into one, it's there if I need it. You could also switch that to page up, page down if you really feel like it. I know those are occupied by zeroing distance. I personally don't use that. I just adjust my scope. If you don't know what zeroing distance is, it pretty much lets you adjust to like the literal distance of how far something is, so that way you don't have to aim above something. Quick example. We know it's 400 meters away, so I hit page up, and then you see on the bottom it says zeroing distance right there. I try to point as you guys can see. Okay, so yeah, 400 meters. So now all I have to do is hit straight. As opposed to page down, whenever it's zeroing distance is 0, the bullet's not gonna make it. So yeah, I don't really use that, but you could if you want to. Okay, so now for the item uses. Now you can literally just ignore all of this here because I'll show you how I use all of it with 2 keys. Now that we've freed up Q and E from lean buttons, now you can use those as your energy bar palettes and your custom item palette. This allows you to use any power bars and any meds at any time. So that way you don't have to click tab, go ahead and right click. Now you can hit Q, drag to whichever bar you want. Same thing with the healing items, you just click E, drag to whichever meds you want. You know, you get shot from far, you have time to heal, you might want to use bandages or first aids. Somebody's close, you took a lot of damage, you're going to use an emergency kit. Very convenient, very good. That is a must-have key in my opinion. Of course, you could go reverse. If you really do feel comfortable with Q&A as lean, you could go ahead and keep that there, and then go ahead and switch it so that the palettes are on your side mouse buttons. But this is just my preference. Crafting items still all the same. Vehicle driving buttons all the same. Changing seats. Now, a lot of people kind of don't know about this. So yeah, just a quick tip here. Let's say you're trying to drive away as fast as possible. You get in the back seat and you're like, oh dang it, I gotta go around. Try to get in the front seat. You accidentally get in the back seat. You're like, dang it, and then you get in the front seat. But by that time, you probably died. So let's say you do jump in the back seat. That's the closest door to you. You can actually hit Control 1 and drive off quickly. So yeah, you can switch between every single seat. Control 1, 2, 3, 4. And if there's a 5th seat, you can use that as well. There's not one here. But yeah, very useful for getting away quickly. All you do is jump in, hit Control 1 and whatever seat you're in, you'll get straight into the driver's seat. You could drive off. Oh, and what's that? I took damage? Oh, we'll just heal right there. Now, audio, the only thing I changed here is made it so that this corner button is my push to talk. I don't really use that too often. Normally, I'm in Discord, but just in case you do need it, feel free to switch that to whatever button you'd like. I use this one up here. Now, user interface, I don't believe anything's here. Once again, feel free to compare and switch whatever you'd like. Now, smart pinging, this is where I did make a big difference, and this is where the other scroll mouse wheel button is used. So now, for pinging, I scroll down. Now, for some people, they might struggle a little bit and keep double pinging. It's not even a big deal, as long as your teammates know you're not actually pinging an enemy. But yeah, I prefer this instead of the press mouse wheel button because I like to alt with the actual mouse wheel button. Of course, you could go ahead and switch it and have the alt as the scroll wheel down, but I feel like I'm going to accidentally do that a lot. So I prefer to have the press as the alt and then the scroll wheel down as the actual ping button. And you can still live ping, so not really missing out on much. Display smart ping world map. I don't think I changed anything here. Feel free to compare. Spectate still the default, and then class skills is disabled. You could go ahead and specify whatever controls you want for every class here. I just have all the alts still as the middle mouse button. Once again, it says 9, but it's really just this. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do it. If I forgot a specific keybind for a specific character that it works best with, go ahead and say it down below. If you think one of my keybinds sucks and there's a more optimal way, go ahead. But I've been doing very well since I switched to these keybinds, and I think a lot of people will too. And once again, if you do feel like you're going to struggle with these, of course you are at first. It's going to take you a little bit to get used to. But once you get used to these and they become your natural instinct to click these buttons, it's going to be the best scenario. Because like I said, it minimizes the amount of times you need to take your hands off of WASD. You can keep your hands on the mouse wheel without having to harbor your aim too much. Of course, with the ult, you might have to take your finger off of the shooting button. But typically, when you're in the middle of an ult, you're not going to be shooting unless the ult is the gun, which only applies to, I believe, the demolition or whatever his name is. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you found this useful. Once again, feel free to roast these keybinds. I feel like it'll help you guys out. They are pretty complicated, but as a beginner, I feel like it's the best time to switch to like crazy keybinds because you don't have bad habits that you need to get away from. You just need to switch to these new ones. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, love you. See ya.